Untold Physio Stories is part of the all-new PT Podcast Network. Find a new favorite podcast by an amazing PT content creator at ptpodcastnetwork.com. The future of medical documentation is here, and it's revolutionizing the way we record patient visits. Introducing Comprehend PT, the groundbreaking HIPAA-compliant AI scribe designed specifically for physical therapists. Imagine a world where the dialogue between PTs and patients is interpreted by AI into precise, real-time medical notes without lifting a pen or tapping a keyboard. Comprehend PT does just that, allowing healthcare professionals to stay engaged with patients rather than buried in documentation. Boost your efficiency, reduce claim denials, and liberate yourself from the burdens of manual note-taking with Comprehend PT. Join the revolution now at comprehendpt.com. Untold Physio Stories listeners get 50% off their first month with code MMT50, and there's a free trial available. Sign up now. I use it every day in the clinic for virtual and live visits. I just speak to the patient, and at the end, hit Comprehend, and a soap note's generated. I love it, and you will too. Welcome back to Untold Physio Stories. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. E, with Modern Manual Therapy and Edge Mobility System. Andrew's not with me, and I wanted to make sure I recorded at least one more episode for August. Sorry, I took a couple weeks off. It's been a busy week, busy month for me. Been teaching lots of live seminars. You can check that out at modmt.com/calendar if you want to attend a live MMT seminar or hashtag manual therapy party. So I had a lumbar patient who actually did rather well. She had chronic leg pain, radiating leg pain for several years, and she finally came to see me. She was referred to me by one of her friends, someone else who I had podcasted about. They both love to crochet or sew or knit or something like that. And, my ignorance always mixes all three of those up, but basically it's a prolonged sitting issue. Now, she responded very, very well to traditional lumbar loading, did a little tweaks here and there, modified her chair and her seating height, made sure she got up regularly, and did some lateral chain strengthening. She's about 90% better for the most part after maybe 2 to 3 visits. So I don't hear from her for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and then she ends up getting an MRI. Now, I told her not to get the MRI, but she got it anyway. Then she didn't even really, she got the results, but she wanted her doctor to explain them to her, either the radiologist or the primary or the ortho or whoever had recommended it or had prescribed it. Now, the doctor said that he was too busy to do this, and she needed to just schedule another visit, and he couldn't even do it over the phone. So that upset her, and she basically said, hey, I don't really even need treatment anymore. I'm not feeling as good as I was before the MRI, but overall, still feeling much better. And she basically wanted to make a visit with me just to explain the results of her MRI. And I said, look, I don't need the disc. I don't even have any means to actually read this disc. And even when I did have like a CD-ROM or something attached to my computer, I couldn't open it up anyway. All I need is the report, and I will explain it to you. So she was really happy. And I got the report, and it said, she had moderate to severe degeneration, and she had a disc protrusion that was to the right, L4, L5. It was protruding to the right with some nerve root impingement or encroachment or whatever the thought virus or words was. Now, the best part about this, she was obviously very worried about a lot of this language that was included in the report, and she didn't really have any means. She didn't have anyone to really explain it to her. So I was like, look, your symptoms are on your left side and all the relevant findings are on the right side. So she was pretty happy about that. She really didn't consider that at all. And I thought that was just great luck on my part, because many times I've had people do very, very well, and then they get their MRI, and then it's all downhill from there, and they're not sure if they should get surgery or whatever. So in this case, there's a 50-50 chance of the symptomatic side being the same side as the majority of the, quote unquote, degenerative findings or positive findings. And she left actually feeling better and, continuing with her home exercises. I heard from her a couple weeks later, and overall she's back to doing her crocheting or knitting or whatever it is that requires lots of sitting with her friend. So I thought, though, overall, it's like, this is something that, whether it's cash-based, mostly cash-based, I think, but I mean, how many times does a patient actually just need us to, go over the results of findings in a way that won't cause nocebo, A guest I'm going to have on in a week or two, Dr. Lance Mabry, is very big on radiology and differential diagnosis. And he basically says that the majority of the, thought virus, kind of anti-PT, pro-pain science scan research is the reason why scans end up being nocebo is because they are described by a non-PT who doesn't know pain science. And I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense, because the more you're into pain science, like I have been for the better part of 2 decades, the more you think that like basically scans are all nocebo when they end up being not relevant to the case. But, it kind of makes you hesitant to order scans at all, or that you would think like scans are never relevant. And there's probably way more gray area, obviously, in both these things, but I never really thought that the reason why all these pain science studies show that people do worse after getting a scan is because it's the way that the scan is explained to them. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys have a great Labor Day weekend. Also, make sure to rate Untold Physio Stories 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts, especially Spotify and Apple, as that really helps our discoverability. And Edge Mobility System is having a Labor Day sale, so make sure to go Edge Mobility System. The coupon will be auto-applied in your cart. You save 15% off of anything. And there's also a sale on MMT Insiders as well, 25% off. Email me if you want details. Have a great holiday.